Hello and welcome to this EC Council course. My name is Simon Salmon and I'll be leading you through the 8 hours of content carefully structured to offer a comprehensive review of all areas relating to identity and access management. I've been working in IT security, consultancy, operations and training for over 20 years, working across a broad variety of public and private organisations. Identity and access management is a central topic for all IT security, and it's involved in every single transaction. Consequently, it's involved in every single security incident. This is why a good knowledge of the topic and a considered approach is essential. Identity access management and governance is a set of processes and tools to help us manage our access to resources. Conceptually, this is very straightforward. We only allow the right person access to the right things at the right time. In practice, we'll look at why this is far more complex. Because of the complexity around organisations, the technologies, regulation, and also legislation. So the course structure has been carefully designed. We will start off with an introduction, moving forward to look at the governance that's required for an effective identity and access management system. This is essential. We need to know what identity and access management means within the context of our own organisation or government. We need to know what is permissible, what our mission is, what we're trying to achieve, and this needs a mandate. We also need ways of enforcing the systems and processes and policies that we have in place. How do we know that these are working? In section 3, we move forward to look at some of the key identity access and management concepts. These include identification, authentication, and authorization. Section 4 will look at the processes involved in identity and access management. These are the typical processes that an organisation would require. We then look at standards and guidance. And the standards and guidance that are available are immensely helpful, partly because these are best practice that other people have gathered for us, that have been used, that have been standardised, and they provide a common language and a recognised approach to best practice. So if we can use these and tailor this advice for our organisation, it will save us time. We'll move forward to look at some common issues relating to identity and access management and how we can address them. Then we'll look at single sign-on and federation. And this links very closely to cloud and cloud-related services. The need to federate services across multiple security zones. How do we manage that? We'll look at future trends relating to identity and access management. This is an area that has changed significantly over the last 5 years and will continue to grow and develop at some pace. With all the knowledge we've gained over the first 9 sections, we'll look at the typical approach to implementing an identity and access management system before moving on to section 11 and looking at the technologies relating to identity and access management. And the technologies may relate to the existing local area network, a more traditional access paradigm, or they might be some of the newer web-based technologies. So we'll look at a cross-section of the different types of services, and many of these are now open standards. And we've seen a huge rise in the creation of standards like SAML, Open Authorization, and OpenID Connect. And these are in use heavily across the internet to provide access to platform as a service, software as a service offers, and provide an excellent way of linking those to our own organisation. We will then look at 4 case studies. And these build on everything we've learned so far in the course and look at a practical example of how identity and access management works in different circumstances. We will look at establishing identity, federating identity, enterprise integration, and web services and single sign-on. And there is a mix within those 4 case studies of government to citizen, of business to employee, and of business to business type relationships. And again, it just shows how broad identity and access management is in terms of its coverage.